going to stain on the inside, it's not going to stain on the inside, which is great also.
And you know buffalo will stain and
anything.
break your heart. It will not stain this melamine.
So we did chicken wings. Here we just lined it and we did some of our crackers, which I love. But your pasta salads. And then David, this I love. That lid that's now a serving tray. How about doing all of your cheese, all of your crackers, all of your fruit? Love it. And you can keep it cold ahead of time.
I was just going to say,
you
you can prep all this the day before the party and park it in the fridge. You'll cover it with a little plastic wrap and you're good to go. Think about this also if you wanted to make your sandwiches a day in advance. These are the tea sandwiches we do on In the Kitchen with David. These have Devonshire cream, the cucumbers, and strawberry slices. Really delicious. Think about this for your whole barbecue display. We've got burgers, dogs, baked beans, corn. Then we did a tiramisu dessert in one of the serving bowls, which is so awesome. And we're also going to get you all squared away with a chip bowl. And think about this, if you're putting out a big tub of drinks for the barbecue or for the summer family reunion, we've got juice boxes in here for the kids, power drinks for the teenagers, sodas, spirited beverages. You got all the things in here. And let me remind you again, it is a rare occasion when you see an item priced this way on 5Pay. 5 easy payments on your credit card. It's also customer top rated. So let's talk a little bit about customer top rating on this item, because when an item is customer top rated, it's receiving 4.5 to 5 stars, which is an amazing thing.
To do.
Yeah, I will say that. So definitely check out the reviews on QVC.com. In fact, we'll take a quick look at a few of them now. Customers are saying things like great product, 5 stars. Another says great set, 5-star rating. Another person says great product, 5 stars. And then finally, was not missing this year. I love her attitude, 5-star rating.
I love that too. And you know, David, we were talking before, once these colors are gone, they're gone. So if you have your heart set on something,
this particular set not coming back if we sell it out.
That's right.
Let me also remind you what colors we have, and I love this idea because I am a big fan of 4th of July. I do a big picnic every year, and if you're looking to do a big holiday party picnic this summer, pick up a red set and a blue set, because you've already got the white dots, so now you've got red, white, and blue.
So you
Remember,
get 16 plates.
Here are your plates.
6 bowls if you bought both.
You're getting your bowls, all 3 of your serving bowls, and you get the big tub. And if you get the blue and the red, you got your whole 4th of July, Memorial Day, and Labor Day parties all sewn up. So we have red, we have blue, we have spice, cream, and yellow in the polka dot. In the old world, this is what Tara collects, and given that she's the creator of Temptation, she doesn't have to have a favorite because every color of old world is in here. This is confetti, this is blue, this is black, hello yellow, and the yellow is a color now that will only be made available in the spring and summer.
That's right.
In many of the different Temptation sets. So if you like the yellow, you're not going to see it year round, and if this sells out, we won't see this set back. Here is your green, and here is your cranberry.
And then we were showing you the black and white polka dot over here, which when I think about polka dots, I think about this being the quintessential.
Yeah,
nope, that's okay. So think about all the different things you can do, David, and this is what we were talking about. This was a great suggestion from one of our callers. She wanted to use it for outdoor for her plants. So because it's melamine, it can withstand all the weather, so you could do something like that. So again, whether you're using them on your picnic table, whether you're giving them to the grandkids or the kids when they come over, it will match back to all of your hand-painted pieces. And what a great and unique gift. If you're going to a party with someone, this is a great set.
And you leave it as the gift. You bring something over in it, and then you leave it. So if you're thinking about this set for all your outdoor entertaining, and we are just at the beginning of the warm weather season, which I'm so tickled about, this is your chance to pick it up. Now, Tara, I'm not going to ask you to say another word. I want to save that voice because you're back tomorrow with me during In the Kitchen with David with 2 items. So we're going to look forward to that. It's great having you back.
Thank you.
Be safe and rest your voice, sweetie. This is oh boy, you can't read that from here. 19127. It's a bad thing when your eyes get as old as mine. All right, now, we do have an update. Sean, tell us about this.
It's sold out. It's Samsung. It's gone.
Gone. Okay, well, there you go. All right, that pretty much buttons it up.
Yep. And we're done.
All right, so that is going to wrap up my time with you. When are you back?
Monday night, 10 o'clock. Isaac. Then Lisa Rinna. Then TSC kickoff.
All right, and I'll be back tomorrow for In the Kitchen with David. Cheese Month continues. We're traveling to Germany tomorrow, and we're making German Spätzle, which is like a dumpling and cheese. And it's got onions and little bits of ham in it. It's delicious. All right, so stick around. We got more coming up, and the Ultimate Edge with Anthony Robbins and our good buddy Jill Bauer. Jilly, take it away.
Thanks so much, David. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Great to have you joining us today on QVC. And over the course of the next hour, we're going to be spending time with Tony Robbins. So many of you know Tony, and let's face it, if you're the President of the United States, if you are the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, if you're a professional athlete and you're looking to keep that edge or go a little bit further, the person you're going to pick up and call is Tony Robbins. And we're excited that Tony can be here, but he's only here today, and he won't be back until the end of the summer. So with spring here, when you're wanting to make changes in your life, whether you're thinking ahead to bathing suit season, whether you're embarking on a new relationship, so many of you getting ready to graduate from college and wondering what does the world hold for you, you need a path. Tony has put that together for you today in a new program that we've never offered before. It's going to have elements of the top-selling personal enrichment programs ever, but it's also going to include sessions of programs that Tony has never made available like this before. It's really exciting to have him here. If you don't know about Tony Robbins, we're going to tell you, of course, about him, but take a look at what we've included here. Brand new for those of you who've watched Tony. Those are the two new elements that have never been included before, talking about relationships, talking about the path, and then you're also going to have all of your elements from personal power, from the ultimate edge, the new money masters. It's really a completely comprehensive program. What so many of you want help with: finances, relationships, your own self-esteem, your own body image. Tony's going to take care of that for you in this program. Here's a little bit more about him, and we'll talk about the program right after this.
He's the most inspiring man I've ever met in my life, you know, on every level. He understands the heart and he understands the soul.
There's a moment when you change your life. There's a moment when you make a decision. When you say, I do, I love you, let's begin, I quit, it's over.
I just think Tony's a genius. I truly think he's a genius. He can alter people's lives. And I mean really alter them.
For over 3 decades, Anthony Robbins has touched the lives of millions of people. Over 3 million people have attended his seminars from 100 nations around the globe, and over 35 million copies of his programs have been distributed worldwide. The New York Times writes, the world can't get enough of Tony Robbins. Former President Bill Clinton says he has a great gift. He has the gift to inspire. Diane Sawyer asks, what does Tony Robbins have that everyone wants? The answer is, he's got the edge, and he gets results. Results for people like Mark Burnett, Emmy Award-winning producer of Survivor and The Apprentice.
What Tony really gave me was the desire to take risks, take action, and really become something.
Well, it's not often that we're able to just hang out for an hour with Tony Robbins. As you can imagine, his schedule is cram-packed, but he's here for the day at QVC. Won't be back until August, but we're excited that we can offer, and hi, by the way. Nice to see you, Henny. Tony and I have worked together since 1996. We figured out 17 years. We've been bringing you unbelievable configurations together, but this is something we've never done before. In those 17 years, this is going to include elements of your top sellers and, you know, worldwide best personal enrichment programs, but you're giving us some sessions in this configuration that has never been on QVC before that really talk about your self-esteem, image, body, as well as relationships. You've put in some new financial sessions here for us. So to me, when I think about all the things that people would want to come to you for, Tony, this includes everything like you've never been able to do for us before.
No, and what I'm most excited about too is it's very often you can tell somebody this is what you should do, but when you actually demonstrate it, it's a very different experience.
Right.
So for example, when you come here to the path, you know, how many people struggle with weight? And we all know that diets don't work. They don't last. If you don't change the emotional pattern that makes you eat in the first place or not work out in the first place, nothing ever lasts. So what we did in this program was we took people, for example, a woman here who has been trying to lose weight for about 20 years, basically had given up, massively overweight. And I worked with her on camera, and you get to see exactly what I do to figure out what really is behind all this. We made the change, and then we follow her over 5 years. And you see her 5 years later on camera with this massive weight loss that most people would never even believe. And this is a woman who literally could not exercise because she had been in an accident. She had nerve pain in her legs, so she couldn't walk across the room when we started. She would sit and watch the television and pedal this little thing real slowly, and her heartbeat would really go up. That big a change. So if you've ever been to a movie and you watch, you know, a main character and you get so into the film, it's like you feel it's a part of your life. You start to experience what they experience. Well, that's what happens. Same thing that we do here with relationships. relationships. We take this couple that spontaneously in one of my audiences, they're going to get a divorce. I do this work with them. You see exactly what I do. I do it with you so you can work with your own family to create a relationship or to repair one. And then you see them 5 years later and you hear them talk about how their life has never been the same again. Because the biggest question people have is, will something like this really work? Is it just motivation? It's a real permanent change. That's why I've been around here 36 years. I've had the chance to work with 50 million people from 100 countries, and this is our best offer ever.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the fact that with this offer today that you've never had on QVC before, you're getting it with that 5-pay easy pay plan, so it makes it really affordable. QVC has a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Get this program home. Try it for 30 days. Use everything that Tony's giving you here. If you find that, it doesn't work for me, you can always send it back. So you really have nothing to lose. I feel like spring is here. It's that time of renewal. You know, everybody's sort of putting away all the winter stuff. They're uplifting. They're opening up their windows. And it just sort of feels right. Like it's the right time to start really taking a look at your life and ask yourself, are you happy? And are there things that you've always wanted? And if you do, why haven't you gone after them? What are things that Tony knows that he can coach you on so that you can get to those achievements? Whether it's weight loss, whether it's a better relationship with your kids, your spouse, the people that are around you. Maybe it's something as simple as, I always wanted to write a cookbook. Well, then why haven't you? What's stopping you? Tony is so good. He is a master. Listen, I'm talking about him like he's not even here. But he's a master at really getting to the heart of how come. How come you're not doing those things? And that really goes back to your personal story on sort of how your journey started in the first place, too.
Yes, I mean, I was on Dr. Oz's show yesterday, and they were kind of taking a work back through my life, which I haven't done in a long time, and seeing all these pictures. But, I mean, I started out at a very young age. We grew up very poor financially. I didn't have a lot of role models, to say the least. I went to books initially, and then I went to seminars, events. I would take literally a week's pay and go to an event because I figured if this person has spent 20 years to figure this out, I don't want to take 20 years. I want to find out right now the best answers they have, and that's how I started changing my life. I mean, I was literally, my mom kicked my dad out. I was on my own. I was sleeping in my 1968 Volkswagen Baja Bug.
Wow.
And I worked as a janitor. I went to school, but then I began to make these changes in myself, explosive changes. I lost 38 pounds in 6 weeks. I had 30 pounds in 30 days. I turned around myself emotionally. I used to walk in a room and I'd feel totally alone in a group of 50 people, and all of a sudden I felt connected to people. I felt spiritually alive. Everything shifted in my life. And then I went from $38,000 to $1 million a year. That kind of growth seemed impossible. But now I'm a father of 4. I've built a dozen companies. I've been doing this now for 36 years in 100 countries. And I have to be an idiot not to see there are patterns that cause people to be frustrated. Patterns cause them to be angry, overwhelmed, overweight. There are patterns that make you passionate, patterns that make you excited. And once you know the triggers to make those patterns work, you can change things in minutes that most people think take months or years. And that's why I get the phone calls from the top athletes. I get the call when the athlete's burning down on television, where the president has a challenge, when we have a situation where a young child is suicidal. And knock on wood, I've never lost a suicide in 36 years. So, and there are thousands that we've done, and they're on films. We train therapists around the world how to do this type of work. So this is work, it's real. But what I've tried to do here is make it fun and easy, where you can just do one audio a day while you're driving in your car, while you're cleaning your house, while you're going for a walk, and where you can see real change, because you learn something, you get inspired, but then you take one action and you build on the day before, and it's like a snowball effect. Pretty soon you see these gigantic changes you hear people talking about, because it wasn't overwhelming. It's a step at a time. So call us right now, because this is a chance for you for literally a $45 payment to get yourself on board and have me come to your house and start coaching you literally on your time, and QVC guarantees it as well as I do.
Well, with the millions of people that have attended Tony's seminars and used his various programs, we invited some of them to Skype in with us today. So we're actually going to go to Skype and say hello to Anne-Marie, who's Skyping in with us. Hi, Anne-Marie. It's Jill and Tony.
Hi, I am so excited to meet both of you.
Well, thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Where are you calling from or Skyping from?
Calling from West Covina, California, which is just a few miles away from Azusa.
Yes, that's where I grew up. That's amazing. Nice to meet you. Tell us about your story. What was your life before, and what's it like now that you're utilizing my programs?
Well, before I listened to The Ultimate Edge, I was afraid to take what I thought were giant leaps. I operated from a place of fear and really a need to be significant and accepted. And the Ultimate Edge program really helped me to go from a place of fear to a place of passion and power. I learned to define my life purpose, which is to make things better than they are, and to discover the why behind my goals. To me, this was just magical. It created ignited in me a fire to develop a clear picture, but more importantly, to ask myself, what is it that I really want? Why? And why must I have it? What purpose does it serve, and how would it serve others? So from that state, it no longer even mattered how significant or who accepted me. I could passionately see what I wanted my outcome to be, move toward creating a plan, and then take massive action.
What kind of changes did you make in your life?
Well, 9 months later, I live with a daily passion that I must make things better than they are. I no longer put things off because of fear. And the outcome, I live in my dream home. I'm the healthiest I have ever been. I've expanded my after-school company to serve 3,500 at-risk kids a day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's incredible. I started a foundation to provide additional resources for needy people in the community. And this is the magical part, because I was so afraid to start another company. I always wanted to work with people who were incarcerated. So I did that. Now, over 500 incarcerated adults are provided educational services from our company.
Wow.
Exciting.
Wow.
Monday, I'm incorporating 2 new companies. So I can't even begin to tell you what it's like to operate from a place of passion and purpose, to live my life dream, to be of service, and to make things better than they are. Tony, I'm forever indebted to you. You've not only transformed my life, my mom's life, but you helped me to create just an outstanding life. So thank you.
Thank you. What happened to your mom? I'm curious.
Oh, she's actually sitting right here by me. She went to Unleash the Power Within just a few weeks ago here in LA.
Wow.
You had asked why people were there. She raised her hand and said her daughters made her come, and that if she didn't walk on fire, I'd make her pay the money back.
I met your mom. That's your mom? That's amazing.
You have transformed her life. She went from a story of being a victim of child molestation to now she only tells a story if it's going to help people.
Wow.
She is walking on air. I mean, she's always been a beautiful woman to me, but now she is just at 72 years old, just this phenomenally powerful woman.
Wow. Well, give her my love. I met her personally. I called her, and I didn't know any relationship to you.
Here.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
There she is. Hi, Mom. Nice to see you. That's wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah, she shared her story. I was asking people in the room what some of the challenges they face, and she shared what she'd been through, some abuse and so forth, and we worked with her. And, that kind of change is what really I think everybody wants. Everybody wants to be free of their fear. If you ask people, why don't you have what you want? Everybody gives you a story. Well, I had ADHD. Well, lots of kids do. Einstein had that problem, and he did quite fine. I was abused. Abuse is a horrific experience, but it only stays with you. There are people that have been abused, and they've used that as an energy to go help others. Other people use an energy never to go about it. People aren't in the relationship they want. They aren't making the money they want to make. They don't have the job they want. And why don't they have it? They have a story. We all have a story. I mean, if you think about it, if someone isn't losing weight, they have a story. Their story is, I'm big boned. I've tried everything. Those are my stories, right? I was 38 pounds heavier than I am. I'm still big boned, but I'm 38 pounds lighter, even though I'm still big boned. We have these stories, and a lot of the stories are true, but we use the story to stop us. And I always tell people, the only thing keeping you from getting what you really want is the story that you keep telling yourself about why you don't have it, or why someday in the future you'll have it. I'll go on a diet next week, next month. It never happens, because when we get to tomorrow, it's today. It doesn't change. So what I really believe in is if you can get through your fear, and that's what I'm best at, if you can get through whatever stress or hesitancy you have, there's nothing you can't accomplish if you also have a plan. If you're all excited and not fearful, but you don't know what to do, you can go on any diet and be totally disappointed once again, and then you don't want to try. Same thing in a relationship. Same thing with turning your finances around. So what the Ultimate Edge really is showing you the pathways to get from where you are to where you really want to be. And they're proven paths that have been successful for literally millions of people. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and I hope you'll inspire other people right now. Get on the phone and really get this for themselves.
Anne-Marie, thank you so much for being with us, and to your mom, too.
Oh, my honor, privilege, very blessed. Thank you. And Tony, keep up the incredible work.
Thank you. God bless.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So if you're just flipping through the channels this afternoon, we're spending the day with Tony Robbins. He's only here for a couple of shows, and he's only here today. Usually when Tony comes in, we have him for the whole weekend. We only have him today. today. He will not be back until August. When Tony was here in February, we completely sold out of your program. This is brand new. This is not the same program that we've had before. How is it different? Well, it's different because over here you're going to see this collection of sessions called The Path. And it's really about addressing relationships. It's really about addressing losing weight, being your best self, body image, those kinds of things. Things that maybe have been struggles for you. Now Tony is giving you insight, not just letting you listen to him talk, but really giving you sort of a on the fly or a wall, let me try that again, fly on the wall view of what it would be like to witness you one-on-one with people who come to you.
I was Dr. O's show yesterday. It'll air on May 20th, but we brought a woman on. I was on Oprah's show. We had this program in New York, but this live audience, 5,000 people. And Oprah brought this woman. She was looking for the toughest person. This woman came in and she was extremely angry with her husband, angry with her kids because she felt like, you know, her name is Gail, and she said, I feel like I can't do anything I want in my business or career because of all this, and my life's over, and I'm not having what I want. She had this huge story. And I worked with her right there on stage, boom, for 15 minutes. And that's exactly what you see here, me working with somebody exactly like that. And to give you an idea, she showed up yesterday at Dr. Oz. She's lost over 100 pounds in 1 year. And it's because you're never going to get that by just dieting. You got to change the story. There might be the perfect answer right in front of you that could get you going, but you're never going to exercise. You're never going to stick with the diet if you don't change what's really going on with you emotionally. And not only the story, but the state you're in. Listen, it's very easy to make changes when you're determined. It's very easy to do that when you feel passionate. But when you wake up and think, oh my gosh, I know I got to go on a diet today, or, you know, I got to go to work today. When you're in that state of mind, there's no way you're going to use your abilities or your gifts or discover who you really are. So this is a program that helps you get the strategy, change the story, and get the state that changes it all. And all of it now included in this one program.
Well, and it's, you know, really affordable with our 5-pay Easy Pay plan, because that allows you to get it home for around, you know, a little over $1 a day for probably less money than you spend on a cup of coffee or a couple of trips to the vending machine, right? This is going to be a personal enrichment program to really address all of the things. And why you buy it today may not be the reason why you go back to it next year.
That's so true.
But there are so many elements included here, and that's what I've always loved about Tony's programs is they never become obsolete. There's always learnings. I learned something. I was just telling somebody this at a baseball game yesterday. I said, oh, I'm working with Tony Robbins tomorrow. I learn something from Tony every time I work with him. And you and I have sat next to each other, as we said earlier, for 17 years. I've done these shows with Tony. I learn something new. I have those, what Oprah called aha moments. Every time you're here. That's what you're going to experience every time you go back and you realize you're not quite where you are, want to be in your life with this or that or the other. You go back to Tony because nothing here that he brings you is irrelevant. Why? Because really at the core it's always been the same. You know how to, you know what you're doing, obviously, but you really know how to connect with people. And I think the opportunity here in this new configuration, plus, by the way, I want to point out, in addition to all of the DVDs and CDs that you're getting here, you're also getting a free online personality profile. You're also getting a free 30-minute coaching session with one of Tony's coaches. You're also getting $100 off one of Tony's seminars. So those are things, I mean, this is an over $660 value that we've put together here for you for, gosh, $1.50 a day, and you have QVC's 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. There is no risk. If you get to 30 days and it's not what you thought it would be, it wasn't fun, you didn't enjoy it, you're finding that, gosh, I don't know if it works for me, you send it back. But we've never included something like this before with new programs that Tony's never put in one of his QVC offers. In fact, you can't find that anywhere else.
It's not even available
you can't
on
even
my
buy
website.
it on your website. So, and with the free shipping too, that's another nice $11 savings. We've sold out of Tony's programs in February, but that was over a weekend. He's only here today. You won't see him back to the end of the summer. So don't wait.
You mentioned something too. You know, I understand that people are used to like what's going to come from listening to something, but you all know there have been moments in your life in which you've been triggered, where somebody said something that made you really mad, or somebody said something that touched you deeply. Well, when you don't just say something, but you do something, that's how your life really changes. And if you're, you know, in a place where you think nothing's going to work, why not find out? I mean, this literally is a risk-free trial. You can put this on your credit card. You know, you don't get billed for 30 days. You can use it right away. I can tell you, Oprah was very skeptical because, you know, she saw infomercials
I love this
over
story.
the years.
I love this story.
You know, and so she said, finally, a bunch of her friends, so many people said, you got to go see Tony Robbins. She goes, okay, I'll come. She goes, how long is the seminar? Is it an hour or 2 hours? And I said, no. The first day is 12 hours. And she goes, 12 hours? She goes, there's no way. I'm not sitting anywhere for more than 2 hours, period. I won't go to a movie more than 2 hours. And, you know, she came to the first program, and 3 hours she's there, 4 hours she goes, this is amazing. 12 hours later, you know, on camera, she said, this is one of the greatest experiences of my life. So you got to wonder, you know, how do we take people who won't sit for a 3-hour movie? Most people won't do that. So where somebody spent $300 million to entertain you and you won't sit through it. And I can take people for 50 hours in a weekend, 5-0 in one weekend, sophisticated people, general people, from every walk of life, and have them come out and say it's one of the greatest experiences of their life. This is that experience brought to your home.
Yeah.
And for $45.
Right.
Call us right now and let me coach you.
Let's do this. We're going to go off to our phones. Kathy is joining us from New York. Kathy, hi, it's Jill and Tony Robbins. How are you?
I'm great. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Well, say hi to Tony and tell us a little bit about your experience with his programs.
Well, I just recently bought the Ultimate Edge as a refresher because I originally purchased the personal power tapes back in the 90s, in like 93 when I was studying for my MBA. And I listened to the tapes and I had an idea. I wanted to get a career that combined my interest in retail and analysis. Long story short, I used the tapes to create that path. And I got a job on Wall Street, and I was working there, and things were great. And I also used the tape, and I applied the tape and all the educational tools that you taught me in my relationships and all that, and it's been tremendously helpful. Unfortunately, you know, life is filled with unexpected events, and I lost someone very close to me on September 11th. And because I had the information that you gave me, I was able to channel those emotions and that sadness into something more positive. And basically, this close friend of mine, Billy, he was a fireman. He was a captain in the fire department, and he was also a lifeguard. That's how we met. We were lifeguards at Robert Moses on Long Island. And at the time, I was doing triathlons on Long Island, and I used what you taught me, and I took a step above, and I used some role models. I went out to California and I met with John Howard, who won the Hawaii Ironman many years ago. And I trained for an Ironman. And long story short, I qualified for Kona. I qualified for the Hawaii World Championships. Yeah, I went out to California and I also met up with Paula Newby Frazier, and I took a camp with her, and I used her as a role model. And again, I would listen to your tapes on my walk to the gym, and I belong to a gym here in New York City, and there's it's right on the water, and there's a set of treadmills, and I would get myself in that peak state, in that peak performance state, and I would have great music going on, I'd be running, and I'd be feeling all strong and powerful, and I'd be looking right at ground zero, and just establishing those linkages, and, you know, overcoming that fear and sadness and anger with a better state of mind, and turning it around, and yeah, I qualified for Kona, which is amazing. Wow. So, and just all the little things that you taught about, you know, the things that you used in your examples with athletes and all these great professionals, and it made such a huge impact on me, and I'm amazed, you know, that I could use that technology. And after I did the race in Kona, I took some time off, and I recently got back into triathlon, and I did an Ironman in Florida in 2012, and it was funny because I met a guy just by chance. He's also a fireman here in New York, and I recognized him because of his T-shirt, but he teased me because he noticed that I was carrying a Sony Walkman, and he said, you know, this is 2012, what are you doing listening to a Walkman? But it was because I had your tapes, and I still listen to your tapes with that, you know, that edge, that mental edge that you need in an Ironman. And so recently I upgraded, and I got the I got the Ultimate Edge, so I don't have to rely on the Walkman so much. But it's amazing.
My goodness, you're a fountain of change. Listen to you. I mean, everything from your relationships to dealing with loss to, you know, getting yourself to be effective on Wall Street to transforming your body. This is one of the things I love about what we do with people is, you know, when you take on one area of your life, most people don't realize this, if you take on an area of your life that's difficult and you start to get just some basic momentum in it, you know, it's like what makes us happy is progress. Progress equals happiness. And you're making progress in so many areas that when you start to take one area and make progress, you get this momentum, and all of a sudden you tackle the next area, let's tackle the next area. And as you know, we have the answers in all those areas because I spent my whole life looking for the best strategies for each area of your life. But I'm glad you got out of those cassette tapes. Holy cow.
Yeah, and in fact now, where I am, you know, I'm not all that thrilled with my career. And again, I'm drawn to fitness. And yeah, after I qualified for Hawaii, I got certified as a coach because I wanted to give back and share all that goodness that I got from the sport with others. And, you know, I'm interested in that and also retail. And so I kind of want to get back on track. And like you say, you know, sometimes you fall off track and you need a coach to keep you going. Yeah. And so, you know, I continue to listen to you. And, you know, looking at retail companies and, oh, you know, what would it take to get into that position? Yes. And I Googled some things and I saw FIT came up. And so I decided to take massive change and I enrolled in a whole slew of courses at FIT to get more knowledgeable about retail and hopefully use my analytics and you know, possibly get back on track on my career. And that.
What would you tell people that are at home that don't have the momentum you have? Because you have so much momentum, it'd be overwhelming for most people. They're going to go, this girl's doing everything, right? What would you say to somebody that's sitting at home right now and they're like, okay, we're flipping through the channels. Where are those darn, you know, zircon diamonds? Tony Robbins is on. This is disappointing to me, but he's here for some reason. What do you say to get them to give themselves a gift and discover what's possible? You've opened so many areas of your life over so much period of time, over decades, you've made improvements and come back to it again and again. What can you say to someone to help them really give themselves this gift right now, to actually pick up the phone or go online right now and do this?
I mean, just listening to it, just listening to 1/2 hour, it's addictive. It makes you feel so good and so inspired, and it taps into all those areas of your life that really encourage you and remind you that, yeah, you can do more. You know, you don't have to just settle for, you know, a blah day. There's something inside you and somewhere out there that you can apply it and really make a difference, and you'll feel so good. And, yeah, you'll want to share it with everyone else around you because, you know, like you said, you can't help it. You don't want to keep it bottled up. You want to share it and improve other people's lives. It makes you feel so good about yourself.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Kathy,
sharing.
Thanks so much for your call. Congratulations on all your wonderful successes.
Thank you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to thank you in person in a way. Yeah, you made an amazingly positive impact on my life, and I look forward to using the Ultimate Edge, you know, today and in the future to make it even better.
Well, you stay on the line. I'd love to meet you. Stay on the line and leave your address, and I'll invite you to come to one of my events as my guest.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kathy. Just stay on the line, okay?
Oh, perfect.
All righty. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. So can I go back to the point that I made earlier that once you get this program, you'll find yourself using it and going back to it over and over again? Really. She still has the cassette form, and she's going back to it in 2012. So if that doesn't tell you that this really is information that doesn't become obsolete, if this doesn't tell you that this is a program that can change your life wherever you may be at this moment or in moments in the future. She referenced 9/11. Yes. We know there's been so many tragedies in the past week between Boston and Texas. I think it gives us all a moment to say, life can change in an instant. We're only here for a finite amount of time, and if we're not making the most of who we are and want to be, what are we doing? And who can help us on that journey? He's right here. Tony Robbins can help you on that journey if you want to make change, if you're ready to make change, if you've been sitting back for too long. How many tens of thousands of kids are getting ready to graduate from college, Tony? What a gift this program would be as they head out on their life. Or maybe you're somebody who graduated years ago and you still aren't doing what you always wanted to do. Why? Let Tony help you for less than $2 a day, for free shipping and handling, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, with the fact that you can't get this configuration of Tony's programs anywhere else. And remember, it's Ultimate Edge Inner Strength, Ultimate Edge Personal Power, Ultimate Edge Get the Edge, the new Money Master, so you're talking finance, the Path, which is addressing, changing your body, relationships, talking about passion. It's every part of the life that you want to live, and Tony can help get you there. Take advantage of our opportunity while you can. Remember, Tony's only here today. We sold out of his programs back in February, but this is new. He's giving you things things, he's teaching you things, he's guiding you through things that he hasn't done in a way before. So stay on the line, jump on the phones now. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to check in with some other folks in a little bit. And after that, we'll hear more from Tony, more about the program, and we'd love to continue to take your calls.
Join Bare Minerals creator Leslie Blodgett and celebrate spring with low event prices on select cosmetics and more during Bare Minerals. 3 shows today on QVC. Don't miss Dyson's newest canister vacuum combined with a new tangle-free turbine head this Sunday starting at midnight Eastern. Then Joe Rivers' impeccable sense of style can be found in her Classics collection this Monday at 6 p.m. and Tuesday starting at 1 a.m. Eastern. And Sleep Number brings us the ultimate in personalized comfort with our first dual foam layering system. Tune in Sunday, April 28th starting at midnight Eastern. This spring, don't just shop, Q.
Has to have is a point of view.
Brett Ratner is one of the most successful and sought-after directors in Hollywood. And his hit films have raked in over $1 billion in box office sales.
Tony will, if you're on top of the world, he's going to keep you on top of the world, you know. He gives you the tools that you need. When you apply those tools, then you'll see results.
Brett's belief in Tony Robbins' system has inspired both his personal life and his work in making blockbuster films.
He really reminds you of what you're capable of. He makes me excited about life.
Well, we're always excited when we can spend time with Tony Robbins here on QVC. Thanks for stopping in today. Tony is here for until 2 o'clock this afternoon Eastern Time. It is his only visit of the spring. We won't have him back until end of August. So we're excited that he was able to put together really a new version of the Ultimate Edge, including some sessions from some of the programs that you've never put in one of your programs for us before, which is really, really exciting. We'd love to hear from so many of you. Here's everything that you're going to be getting. So you're going to be getting Personal Power, which is classic. That's really what put you on the map, right?
It's the best-selling program, personal improvement program of all time in history.
So you're going to be getting Personal Power in this. You're going to be getting Get the Edge. What's that all about?
That was the next stage of what I did in my life. It was saying, how do we take every area of your life, your body, your emotions, your relationships, your finances, let's get a plan, let's figure out what's stopping you, and let me every day get you to make some progress until you get the goals that you want in each and every area that matters.
We're also getting Inner Strength. What are we going to learn there?
That helps you find what are the inner conflicts. You know, whenever somebody says, I know what I want, and I know what to do, but I'm still not doing it, there's something inside you that has an inner conflict. You have goals that are in conflict, right? You want to make everybody happy, and you want to be honest. It's kind of hard to do. You really want to make $1 billion, and you want to sleep till noon. Doesn't work really well. Or you're in a place where you really want to achieve something, but you're afraid. Those inner conflicts make you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and this resolves it. That's why people make such huge progress on this program.
You've also included what's called the new Money Master. So there's kind of a financial piece, because I'm sure people are always, you know, wanting advice, right?
When you say finance, it sounds so big. What we really did is in 2008, I started reaching out because I saw so many people becoming unemployed and a lot of smart people running out of business. And so I went to some of my graduates and I said, tell me some people here that have used this and they started a business from scratch from home. And so, for example, one of the people here is Frank Kern. This is a man that was making literally $24,000 a year, living in Macon, Georgia, struggling, having a real difficult time in his life. He got this program, he changed his head, he put together this plan, and he started to figure out how he could make $24,000 a year from home. And then it was $24,000 in a month. Then it was $100,000 a month. He now has one of the records on the internet. He made $18 million in 24 hours.
Wow.
Now, I'm not suggesting you do that, but we literally show you what he did each step of the way. And this is a guy, he was no salesman, he had no background. And so then I brought in a woman that did something very similar. So to show you what you can do, if you already have an income, here's a backup income. If you want to have something that could produce an additional revenue for your life, or you want to be home with your kids, these are the types of things you can do. So each part of the program is designed to do that, along with an individual coach I've trained to work with you one-on-one.
I love that.
So that you follow through and really do this stuff.
And you're also going to get to do that online personality profile.
Yes.
I did that when you first offered that years ago.
Yes.
I still refer to it. I should probably take it again just to see if anything's changed or if I've changed.
Yes.
But it's fantastic information about yourself, things that you'll learn about yourself, things that will help you in dealing with others. It's really very insightful, and let me just tell you, spot on. And you've heard people talk about the fact that they've attended Tony's seminars. You're also going to get $100 off to attend one of Tony's seminars. That's part of this package. Real quickly, and then we'll go to Skype. Why did you include the 2 new elements here from the path? What did you feel that was going to offer folks, and why?
I think, you know, when you go to a movie and you watch the movie and you become connected to that character, you start to think and feel what they feel, their excitement, their fear. And I thought it's really wonderful for people to witness this transformation. So very much like the woman I mentioned to you earlier, Dr. Oz lost 100 pounds, right? She did it over the course of a year. She did it, though, because I did an intervention with you. And people who watched Oprah got to watch that intervention.
Yes.
Well, this is another intervention like this. And this is a woman, you get to see what she's dealing with. And nothing has ever worked for her entire life, massively overweight. And this is a woman who couldn't walk across the room because of nerve damage in her legs. Today, 5 years later, you see her with all the weight off, completely transformed. She won a beauty contest in her 50s.
Wow.
Right? And this is a woman who never dreamed that would be possible. And it's very inspiring because you see exactly what I did. You see how you can do it for yourself, but you also you witness it and experience it as it's happening. Same thing that we do with relationships. We take relationships that are literally a couple that are going to get a divorce. They're clear that it's over. And you see that when you think it's over, it's not. Things can be turned around. When you first met that somebody, there was some passion, there was some energy, there was some excitement. Where's it gone? It's gotten stacked behind negative emotions. And we show you how to break through that and get back to that aliveness that made things exciting again, or how to create a relationship like that in the first place. So really, it's designed to be a library that affects every area of your life. Your body, your emotions, your relationships, your finances, your sense of passion and joy and purpose. And something you can use for the rest of your life, but it's just 1 CD a day. Just 1 audio a day. Put it on your Walkman. Rock and roll Walkman. She's got me saying Walkman now. That woman at
No, you're not watching a clip from 1982.
Put it on your phone. Nobody seems to carry around an iPod anymore. Just put it on your phone and rock and roll. You can do this while you're cleaning the house. You can do it while you're driving in your car. You can do this while you go for a walk. So it takes no extra time to change everything in your life. And we made it now with this 30-day money-back guarantee and just a $45 initial payment to get yourself started.
And people will tell you it's fun. I mean, that's the other part of it. It might seem scary. Change is a little off-putting for some people.
Until you do it.
Until you do it, and then you're so excited, and you get what you always talk about, that momentum going. So we want to get that going for you. Pick up the phone and dial in while you can, while we have this offer available. We also invited some of the folks who've used Tony's programs to Skype with us today. We're going to go say hi right now to Becky, who's Skyping in. Hi, Becky. It's Jill and Tony Robbins. No, Becky, hang on 1 second, because I'm not hearing any audio. So we're going to check on that for 1 second just to make sure that there's sound. Can you guys test that, or should we go back to Becky? Okay, they're testing it. For those of you just tuning in, let me just remind you about this unique offer, right? Again, this is a configuration you can only find here at QVC. Tony put this together just for us. You can't even get it from his website. It's giving you everything that you need, the proven tools that so many millions of people have used, plus brand new sessions in the path talking about relationships, 5 payments of Easy Pay, free shipping and handling. And remember, Tony is only here today. He's not here for the entire weekend. He's here today and today only. He won't be back until the end of summer. It's April. We can get you started, and it'll arrive in the next week. You'll put in that first CD, and you'll be on your way. Do you have a recommendation of where people should start with this, Tony? Does it matter?
Well, no, you can start anywhere you want, but I encourage people to start at the beginning, because even if you want to make a change in your body or your relationship or your finances, there's some fundamental things you want to do so you get momentum. We all know what it's like when you have momentum, where things suddenly that were so hard are easy. And I do those right in those first 3 audios.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons we have this money back guarantee. Nobody sends it back because you listen to it and you go, what's this going to be? Or play it in front of your kids or someone you think that you want to have experience this who's very skeptical. I'm telling you, you'll have such an experience of an emotional change. When you get in that state of mind, you ever done something where, after you said something, you said, I can't believe I said that, I can't believe I did that, that was so dumb. Or maybe a time when you couldn't remember how to spell a difficult word like the, and then later on you get in a different state of mind and you have the answer.
Right.
Or maybe a time when you were doing something and you don't even know how you did it. You're like, wow, I like that, I'm impressed, I don't know how I pulled it off, but I was in a state of momentum. That state is what I do to turn athletes around. That state can turn your personal life around, and that's what we start with in this program. I'm going to give you an example. I invited to come to my seminar a few weeks ago a gentleman, a young man I met named Nicholas, who was in Ohio. 2 years ago, he was at a school shooting and he was shot and paralyzed. I don't know if you remember seeing the gentleman, I hate to call him a gentleman, the killer who opened his shirt and said killer on his t-shirt about a month ago when he was being sentenced. So you can imagine what that would do to somebody's psyche.
Yeah.
And then I brought a woman named Ashley who was at the shooting that was done in Colorado in the theater. And I brought her because she was at her edge because she witnessed her 6-year-old daughter being shot. And then she witnessed the experience of her boyfriend leaving her and her getting shot. She was pregnant, she lost her baby, and she's paralyzed. So I bring this up because with what's going on in Boston, we live in a crazy world. And I wanted people who think they have big problems to see we have no problems. So I invited these people there and then I helped work with them to turn them around. And Nicholas literally at the end decided to walk across the fire in his hands. He's paralyzed. So we held him and he literally walked on his hands across the fire just as this mental breakthrough. It was so inspiring. And Ashley now, both of them are being trained so they can work and coach other people. They literally, if they can get through that experience, whatever you're dealing with, being overweight, being depressed, being sad, being frustrated, upset with your husband or your wife or your kids, I'm telling you, there are plans that can break it through. And what we begin to do is when you hear things like Boston, it affects our psyche as a nation. What's beautiful is we rally together. But what's really important is after the rallying is that we need to use that to make our lives better in every single way, not to take any moment for granted.
Right.
And that's really my message.
Well, we're going to try Becky again on Skype because I think we have the audio problem fixed. Becky, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yes. Hi. Say hi to Tony and tell us your story.
Hi, Tony.
Hi,
oh my gosh. I'm so excited. You changed my life and you've changed my children's lives, and I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This program is life-changing. I don't even know where to start.
What was your life like before you started? How has this affected your kids? Tell us.
Before I listened to this CD program, before my life was, when I grew up, I was fearful and overwhelmed and exhausted all the time. And then great things happened in my life, and I had 3 kids, and I actually had my daughter 16 months later. I had my twins, so I had 3 babies under the age of 2. And but then what happened was my ex-husband, well, at the time he was my husband, left. So he actually left when my twins were only 2 weeks old. So I became a single mom with 3 babies, little education, no job, and now I'm totally overwhelmed. So this program helped with that aspect of helping keep me positive and changing my focus. And then a few years later, I found out my son had autism. So now I'm really overwhelmed. I don't know where to go, what to turn, and I'm able to take the tools that I learned in your program. So I learned to change my focus. So instead of focusing on my son being nonverbal and not just the things that were happening, I was able to change my focus on how can I help my son be happy and healthy. And then it went further. And then I changed my questions. So your program also helped me change the questions because the questions help change the quality of our lives. So my son was 2.5 at the time. All 3 of my kids were 2.5 and 3.5. And I said, I want all 3 of my kids to be tax-paying contributors to society, making happy, healthy choices. So, and everybody thought that was funny, and they laughed, and they, couldn't believe I saying that. And I changed my question on why did this happen to me? Why is my life like this? I was able to say, who's going to help me help my son? So
can I interject just for a second there? Because I want people to hear this. You've owned this. I can see it in your eyes and I can hear your voice. But people don't realize our questions control our life. And we have habitual questions like, why does this always happen to me? Like you said, why can't I ever lose weight? Why does my husband or wife always do this to me? And built into the question are presuppositions that make us see life a certain way. If I asked you, look around the room right now and look for everything you can find that's brown. You look everywhere, look for brown. Try it right now. Look for anything that's brown all around your room. Close your eyes and tell me everything you saw that's red. And you know, most people say, I see a lot more brown than red. If I say, open your eyes and look for red, you'll look for red. But here's what's really true. You find what you look for. I'm sure you saw beige things and called them brown just to feel successful. Right? You see burgundy things, call them red. So what you did, I want people to understand, is you shifted the question, which means it changes your focus and it changes the answers you get in your life, from why is it this way to who's going to help my kids. That was huge. Please continue.
So, so then I'm asking the questions, and then resources are just showing up in my life. So I decided, who's going to help me help my child? So I would hear little snippets of conversation, and then the next step was in your program, and it's like from the very first one, it's take action. Do something, even if it's something small, whatever's making you feel bad in your life, just do something, email, phone, or whatever. So you start out and you make it really easy to take these little steps that like kind of snowball. So I decided, well, I need to understand my child better, so I went to school to become a special ed teacher. So I was able to get the energy to help my child to do, you know, and have wonderful results. So I take action. I focus on the positive. How can this be happy and fun? My son is doing absolutely fabulous. I literally travel around the world helping other families not have to go through what I went through, helping them to live your program as well. And so this program is just life-changing. It's amazing. It's very easy. I would listen to it in my car with my kids. I'm driving them to school, so they're actually hearing Tony too. So can I share a funny story with you?
Please.
So,
Please.
You talk about the 6 human needs. So I was actually able to keep my sons and daughter off of drugs and alcohol by doing the 6 human needs. So I was thinking, why do people do drugs and alcohol? The 6 human needs for it. And then I thought, what else can I have my boys do instead of doing drugs and alcohol? So I got them into supermoto racing, and they're meeting all needs huge. And then I put a little pain in there saying, if you did drugs and alcohol, I would sell your bike and you'd have to go to wilderness camp. So my son got caught actually smoking marijuana, and I took his bike away from him, put it on Craigslist for sale for $100. It's a $7,000 bike, and then put his cell phone on it, so he was getting these calls every 1 second, getting these phone calls. And then I forwarded him the little letter I got from wilderness camp saying all he needs to do is bring 30 pair of clean underwear, and he'll make his own soap and his own food. And if he won't come willingly, we will have 2 big transporters come and take him in the middle of the night. So literally, he cried for like a month, and literally was able to help him, to motivate him to make good choices. Yes. So this information it affects every area of your life, your health, your wealth, I wanted to be the best mom I could be, and you helped me be the best mom I can be, and I just thank you for that.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow, what an amazing story. I got to tell you, most people, they look at why life has done this to them. Instead, you figured out where the gift is. I always say, if you want your life to work, you have to change your core belief from life is happening to me to life is happening for me. That sometimes even the biggest problem is a gift, because it makes you find something. I mean, you found things within yourself to help your children you probably never would have found if it wasn't for the obstacles you face. You wouldn't wish these on anybody, but at the same time, to have that change in your life and to know that you've made that difference for your kids is amazing. And you've had the tough love part too, so congratulations to you. God bless.
Becky, thanks so much for taking time to Skype with us today.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye. One of the things I love when you're here, Tony, and we take we do these Skypings and we talk to people, that everybody touches on a different element of the program. Yes. Single mom with 3 kids under the age of 2, all on her own. We talked earlier with somebody who was affected by the events of 9/11 and looking for ways to sort of deal with that. We talked with somebody who is trying to find ways to make their business better. I mean, there really is something for everybody. Every single one of you watching right now, I don't know anyone who says, my life is perfect and everything is great, I have everything I want, there's no way anything could get better than this. Nobody can say that. There's always areas. I think for working moms especially, we try to be all things to all people and we forget about ourselves. Yes. This is a great program for you. There will be things in here, and then that makes you a better mom, and that makes you a better wife, and that makes you a better friend, and that makes you better because you feel so much better, because you're so much more in tune and in touch with everything around you. Personal power, get the edge, inner strength, that's all part of this program. What Tony's included here that he's never had before. The path, those are sessions where you're really with Tony as he's coaching somebody else, seeing what he's doing to encourage better choices for weight loss, encouraging somebody in relationships and finding that passion again. You're getting that kind of like private access that you've never had before in any of Tony's programs here at QVC.
It's like going to a live event, honestly, because you get to see what somebody else sees and be experienced what they experience. And the changes are lasting. That's what's so beautiful. You know, you say, well, does this really work? What's wonderful is you get to follow up and see these people on the same film 5 years later, 4 years later in this relationship one, and sharing how it's lasted. And why does it last? Because anything that is just thought about isn't going to change you. It might change you for the moment. But what we really do here is change your conditioning. I'll give you an example. Has there ever been a form of food or an alcohol or dessert that you used to love, you were addicted to, and then one day you had an experience that was not very positive, where what was inside you came outside of you? Well, after that, you never touched that food or that alcohol or anything again. Just to think of it, the smell of it, the look of it turns you off. It doesn't take any willpower because your conditioning has changed. We show you how to condition yourself to avoid those things that don't serve you in your relationship, in your body, in your emotions, and how to condition yourself so that you do the things you want. So it becomes automatic. Willpower never lasts, but conditioning does. And the reason you've seen me work with people, for example, who have been in therapy for years, or people with phobias and wipe it out on television in 15 minutes, is the tools that I've learned over the years literally change your conditioning. Listen, if you want a real change and you want to do it in a fun way and you want to get started right now, you're tired of settling for a life that's less than you deserve, call me right now, give them your QVC card or go on there with your credit card, and guess what? In $45, this can be sent to you and you can start listening and get the benefit from it right away starting today. Give us a call now.
Don't forget, you're also going to get $100 off one of Tony's seminars. You're also going to get a free 30-minute coaching session. That's huge. You're going to love that, and that's going to enhance this experience. The free online profile as well, all of that included. This is over a $660 value that you're getting here for $45 a month. Remember, it's a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Real quickly, we're going to go say hi to Catherine, who's joining us from Florida. Catherine, we're a little limited on time, so I just ask that you tell us your story in a Reader's Digest condensed version if you can. But thanks for tuning in.
Hi, how are you?
Great, this is Tony.
Hey, Tony, how are you? This is Catherine from Miami. I started out with you in the early 90s listening to tapes, and then in 2003 I went to my first UPW.
Wow.
And experienced massive, massive change. And then 5 years later, I started up with you again in 2008, and then it seems like I keep peaking every 5 years.
Wow.
And so here we are in 2013, and I've peaked again, and I'm at a point where now what?
Yes.
What do I do next?
Yes.
So, and I wanted to call and say thank you for helping me all throughout the years, and to hope one day I get to meet you, but I appreciate speaking with you on the phone.
Oh, that's wonderful. Listen, everybody hopefully has growth periods. Most people kind of get stagnant and spend the same pattern most of their life. I mean, if you do the same thing you've always done, you get the same result. You know, most people do the same thing and hope it'll get better. Well, hope doesn't change anything. What I always try to explain to people is my original teacher taught me, it was a man named Jim Rohn. He said, Tony, one thing to remember the rest of your life. He says, you know, for things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you got to get better. It doesn't get better by hope. It doesn't get better by wondering. It gets better by taking some form of action and putting yourself in an environment. But he also taught me, just like martial arts or sports, I don't care how great you are in a sport, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, and then there's a point where you hit a plateau. It happens in jobs, it happens in relationships, it happens in your body. What you do at that plateau is what controls your life. What a dabbler does, they go, it's the wrong relationship, it's the wrong job, it's the wrong sport. They go do something else for a little while until that's boring. And so they never have a life that's rich. What a stressor does is they get there and they fight, 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 fight. And maybe they break through, maybe they spend the rest of their life fighting and eventually giving up. What masterful people do is when they get to a point where they're really on a plateau, they go, who's played this game before me? It's like if you went, and I say to people, have you had the humiliating experience of ever playing a video game against a child? Who always wins is the child. Why? Is it because they're fat or no? It's because they played this game before. They know the first bad guy's on the left, the next bad guy's on the right. So you're busy reacting and you're dead in 3 seconds. They play for 25 minutes. You get your next thing, you're dead in 2 minutes, right? So what I show people is if you want to know the road ahead, that's the gift in life. That child wins because they know the road ahead. I know the road ahead because I've worked literally with 50 million people, 4 million people in live seminars from 100 countries. There is nothing I've not seen. Body challenges, relationship challenges, financial challenges, business challenges, and I've taken the best of all that and put into a form